Hello, welcome back to 9 Little Aussies. I'm Chrissy, and if you're new here, I'm really glad you're here. We are an Australian family of 9 who about a year ago moved from Australia to America to be closer to my husband's family, who are all American. None of us, except my husband, had been here before, so it was a very big culture shock and a big leap. And we are living on a little plot of land in East Texas and starting to grow our own food and homestead and do all those things. I thought I better do a little sort of intro because there's a few new people here, so thank you for being here. Glad to have you around. We're just sharing our journey as we progress on this little piece of land, and we're learning as we go. We're gardening, we have chooks and ducks and meat chickens and gardens. At this point, that's as far as we've got. We're sort of starting everything from scratch. Okay, so a big part of today is cleanup. We had that tropical storm that was Hurricane Beryl go through a couple of days ago and knock things around. So I'm going to try and tie up corn, see if we can save some of this corn. You can see it's trying really hard. It was all laid flat and it's trying to shoot back up again. The sunflowers are going to need pruning. Some of them might be able to be tied back up. We'll see. And just a big cleanup. There's a lot of just little cleaning things that need doing. Plants that are done to be composted and weeding to be done, so we will get to it. One of the jobs I want to do today is more weeding in here. We've just slowly been weeding this horrible patch at the front here. So cleared all that the other day, and all this, look at this horrible nut grass, and we did all along the fence line. So we're just slowly trying to clear back enough of this, and then I'm hoping to plant, if I can hurry up and get it done, plant some pumpkins in here and some spaghetti squash, that kind of thing, just to do something with this area until maybe next season I can give it my full attention. Wheelbarrow almost full. I'm slowly encroaching on this area. Going to try and get rid of this patch here so that I can get some pumpkin seeds in and spaghetti squash. Got a helper. Thank you, helper. Okay, so another couple of loads. We've sort of done that whole area there. We have weeded until our fingers are fatigued and aching, and kind of in that, like when you've got a muscle fatigue and they just won't work anymore. So we've got sore hands, don't we? Yep. So we're going to give it a rest, but we've done that whole area. So I've got an area there and an area here cleared, and we're just going to have to keep plodding away at it, little bits at a time. But I've cleared enough where I think maybe this afternoon or whenever I get to it, I will today put some seeds in the ground. Hey,
Yeah.
I think it's time to stop it's time to stop for breakfast and refuel a little bit before we go do the rest. You hungry?
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. Right. Noisy mower over there. Next project is I'm going to do my best to tie this corn up. I have some old binder twine string here that I'm going to use and just try and tie it back to the fence. It's already trying to stand up, so if I just help it out a bit, hopefully it'll be okay. It's standing up a lot more than it was. Just put some binder twine around it, and some of them I have sort of individually. There was a clump there that we're laying down lengthwise along the bed, so I've just tied them up. Hopefully that will be enough support, I don't know. And these ones here, I've done the same thing. Just kind of tied it back to the fence, and these ones, and we'll see how they go. It's my very sad looking sunflowers that just a couple of days ago were looking amazing and beautiful and strong and bright and sunny, and that storm did some damage. So we're going to prune them back, tie up what I can, and just cut our losses. I don't know if you can see me doing the ant dance. This little Aussie keeps forgetting to look down. I've got to look down. Don't stand still. Don't stand still. Just move, move, move. But you just got to constantly look down. And I keep forgetting. I'm like looking up, concentrating on the sunflowers, and all of a sudden my ankle is in a world of pain and my boot is full of fire ants. Look down, Texans, look down. Doesn't look crash hot, but it's better than it was. And the corn, so I've tied the corn up, not the corn, the sunflowers up as best I could. I've cut off all the ones that were like beyond hope, and I've kind of tied the zinnias up because they all got laid flat as well. Honestly, not really sure how everything will recover, but hoping that it'll bounce back for a little while. Let's see. It is super hot now. The kids have gone inside to get in the cool because it's, as you can see, I'm red as a beetroot. And I'm just got a couple more things I want to get done. So our little meat chookies, they're doing well, but it's a hot day. And I'm just going to put the sprinkler on here for them to cool them off a bit. We have already lost quite a few to heat over the last several weeks, especially the first day we put them out. We lost a few. It was a very hot day. So I'm going to put the sprinkler on, cool them down. Oops, I left the camera in the wrong spot. Hopefully that'll make for some happy chooks. Okay, my next project before I go inside is this bed is a big mess. There's a lot of things that are just spent and done that I want to pull out. A lot of things that got knocked over in the storm and have never sort of recovered. So I'm just going to clean this bed up. A lot of these will just go to the compost. I've kind of talked about this a little bit before, but I'm not going to pull them out. Probably it'd be easier and quicker just to run through and pull out everything that is done here. But I don't want to do that because I want to get every bit of life out of these that we can. And what they can do if I cut them off at ground level is they will do a last flush of nitrogen into the soil, and those roots will all break down and just feed the microbiome of the soil, which is what we need and what we want. I did the same thing over there. I just I didn't really show you, I don't think, but all of the arugula or the rocket was done, and I just cut it all off, snipped it at ground level so that all the roots were still in the ground and they will feed the soil. And I'm going to do the same here with everything that I want to pull out. I'm not pulling everything. There are some things in here that will remain. I've still got jalapenos going in here and some herbs, but a lot of it is going to just go back to ground level. I can show you. It's quite stiff. I'm going to cut this up really fine into the wheelbarrow. Well, not really fine actually. I guess it's not really fine, but finer than what it is, so that it breaks down quicker in the compost. It'll still break down without doing this, but speed it up a little bit. Especially with these woody stems on these marigolds. Monstrously huge marigolds. Okay, I have not quite finished this bed. I've done a bit. I've done a little bit of cleaning. I'm kind of halfway along the bed, I guess, but I can feel I am starting to burn, and I don't want to do that. So, which I've been out here since, I don't know, 7:30 or something this morning, and it's now midday. So I'm just now starting to feel like my skin is getting a bit hot. So I'm going to call it quits right now, and I'll have to come out later and finish the tidy up. But we got a good amount done. Well, good morning. It is the next day. I did not get back out in the garden at all much yesterday, just a couple of little things, but I didn't really get to come out and finish because I think I overdid it a little. I was out for about 5 hours, and I think I got a little bit of heat exhaustion after that. I should have gone in a bit sooner than I did, but I have a habit of, I can get something in my head I want to get done, and I just want to push through until it's done, which is sometimes good and sometimes it's not good. And yesterday I just spent a little bit too much time in the hot sun, and I went inside and I lay down on my bedroom floor under the fan, like just on the floor, and I was like, I can't move. I was so spent. So I wasn't much good for the rest of the day. I just had to rehydrate, and I did some little things that potted around inside, kept the household running, you know, as you do. But need to learn that lesson and listen to my body a little bit better. 5 hours in the hot Texas sun is a bit too much, apparently. So anyway, I am back, and I'm just going to potter this morning and put, not as strenuous what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to put some seeds in the ground. So there are 119 days until our average first frost date, which means I just have enough time to get these, to get some pumpkin seeds in and hopefully get a harvest before a frost. I saved some spaghetti squash from one we bought at the store, and I like those, so I'm going to just put those in the ground and see how that goes. And I'm going to put a few more sunflowers in to see if we can get some beautiful sunflowers in the fall, seeing as how all my sunflowers got, well, not all of them, but most of them got pretty hammered in that storm. So that's what we will do today. So I'm just kind of wandering around the garden looking for little, well, not so little spots where there are gaps, or I know a crop is finished that I could put something in. Now these here are the Mississippi pink eye, which I harvested all of those. I'm going to shell them soon. So I'm pretty sure they're done. I haven't grown them before, so I'm not super familiar with what that plant does, but I'm thinking if I could put a couple of pumpkins here, and there's not much in the way, and if it takes over the pink eye, that's okay, because they're done anyway, so that's okay. So I might put a couple here, maybe the spaghetti squash. I haven't grown that before. We don't really have spaghetti squash in Australia. I don't recall ever seeing it, and you probably can get it, I don't know, maybe in some little gourmet places. But I remember hearing Justin Rhodes talk about growing spaghetti squash, and I was like, what's that? And when we moved here, I thought, I'm just going to try one. So I bought one at HEB, and I asked my friend how to cook it, and she told me she cuts it in half, puts it in the oven with like olive oil and some salt and pepper, and then just bakes it in the oven. And I did that, and I really liked it. It was delicious. So I want to grow some now. So I'm going to put some seeds in the ground and see how we go. So maybe here, there's that patch I was weeding out the front, which I think I'm going to put some pumpkins out there, and maybe some more out here in this area. I did have some pumpkins growing out here that I had sowed from some seeds I was given. That's the area where the chooks were last winter, and I'm just kind of putting a cover crop in there right now. And I'll use this as garden area down the track when it's broken down more. But the pumpkins I put in there, the chooks got out, and of course the first thing they went for was the pumpkins. So they didn't make it. The chooks don't seem very interested in the okra or the cowpeas. They're going crazy. Okay, I'm just over here on the other side of my sunflowers along this fence line, and I'm going to pop a couple of sunflowers in and hope that they can get some height before the sweet potato gets really big. So if they can get high enough and get the sunshine, I think they'll be okay and grow up the fence. I'm going to sort out the butternut squash from the sunflowers. I got them in the same packet. Okay, got those seeds in the ground over there. Got the sprinkler on. Get a little bit of, it's crazy. We had all that rain a couple of days ago and it's all dry again. It's going to warm up. It's going to be a hot day. But I have to say, so far this summer is nowhere near as hot as last summer was. So that's nice. It's just, it's hot, it's summer, but it's not crazy. Okay, so this area here out the front, it has been a weedy mess since we heavily mulched it last winter, like a foot of wood chips. And I wish now we had have cardboarded it, because the weeds eventually came up through it, even though it was so thick. So we spent a long time yesterday weeding, and I will just gradually work on it as I have the opportunity. But I'm going to put some pumpkins in. If the weeds can grow in it, let's see how the pumpkins do. I'd rather that than the weeds. Okay, so the one I'm going to plant is this heirloom pumpkin. It's so funny. Look at the jack-o'-lantern. We don't do that in Australia. It's very much an American cultural thing. All right, so I'm going to plant these here. And my thinking is, so I put some of those spaghetti squash out the back. And I know cross-pollination can be an issue with pumpkins and squash. And this is sort of away on the other side of the property, so I'm hoping it'll be okay. I do also have some butternut pumpkins here, but I don't want to plant them too close to these ones. So I may or may not find another spot for them, I'm not quite sure. But there's a patch under here under the tree, and then they could grow up. We had pumpkins growing actually by accident, because I had put some veggie scraps out in the front garden to add organic matter, and a pumpkin seed sprouted, and I thought, oh well, I'll just leave it. And it was in our front garden, like along the roadside, and we had an arched like an archway with the climbing roses going up over it, and the pumpkin ended up climbing up over with the roses, and there was all these big green pumpkins hanging off. It was kind of cool. But these ones will hopefully grow up this fence, if this plan works. You make me laugh, Molly girl. What you doing? You made me laugh. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay. I don't know why this guy's laying down. I don't know if this was in the storm. I like these big old elephant ears. I hope it keeps growing. Get these out of the way. Watch out, Molly. Watch out. Molly girl. Molly. What? How am I supposed to plant pumpkins with you doing that? Hey? How am I supposed to plant pumpkins? Yes. You're big sucky chook. Yes, you are. Big sucky chook. Right. I'll try over here. Watch out. Watch out, girl. Seriously. Seriously. Molly. Oh, and now Shadow's here. Oh, and you've knocked the camera over, Shadow girl. Oh my goodness. All right. Hey kids, can you call the puppies? Thank you. They can get attention over there for a minute. that. I don't know if you can see, it's a Bermuda grass, little long tentacle. Okay, I am dripping with sweat already. Sun's not even over the tree line, but I have got pumpkin seeds all through here. So let's hope we get some little baby pumpkins. And I don't know, I may need to come out with some netting once they come up and protect them from these two marauders. Look, I thought I'd just show you more of these little super cute. Now, some people said they're called cherry bombs or cherry peppers. They are round and red and super cute. And I made some cowboy candy. I went ahead, a number of people suggested that, and I made some. I used the recipe off Jess's channel to make some cowboy candy. So it's sitting on the shelf doing its thing, so we'll try that in a little bit. All right, that's about it for today. Thanks for hanging out with me in my little garden and doing some cleanup, sunshine and raindrops. Until next time.